welcome to Leaving CrazyTown with Finn and Sarah. Today, we're going to do an episode that is dedicated to ODAAT Apparel by
Jeremy and Tara.
And the symbol for ODAAT Apparel is the origami crane. Not sure if you can see it.
The quality is so good of these sweatshirts, you guys. They're so comfortable. Go ahead.
So comfy. And of course, it says I'm sober because, I'm
sober.
People could tell anyway because I'm sure they remember me drunk.
I'm not sure if people can tell I'm sober, but go ahead. Okay.
Probably not. But anyway, the paper crane, the origami crane, on their website, they talk about how it's a symbol of hope and peace and resilience, and that the crane takes its shape one fold at a time, and that recovery can occur one day at a time, and you can find peace and hope, and that there's always hope for a better life one day at a time. So that's what we're going to talk about today, a little bit of the folding of life one day at a time and the unfolding at the same time. And so anyway, check them out, ODAAT Apparel. I got
great
some
stuff.
Really nice, cozy.
It's so cozy. They also have a great t-shirt. I was going to get you one. I'm telling you this right now that says "We are not saints."
If I had $1 for every gift she was going to get me.
All right, you guys. So how do you let your life unfold? This is what we're going to talk about today around codependency and sobriety. I think the problem is very often we want things really quickly.
Oh, yesterday.
Yes. And so I've heard this in so many meetings over the years. Patience is not my best feature. No. I mean, we're addicts. We like excitement. We like things happening quickly. It takes quite a while to calm our systems down and let things unfold. So do you have any examples? And I might have an example too of where we wanted to solve a problem very quickly. I just thought of one actually.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. So
it'll save you from interrupting me.
This is what I just thought of, you guys, is sometimes when we, oh God, I'm going to get emotional. Sometimes when we go through really hard times in recovery, we think it's never going to end. Right?
Never.
We think, what someone once said, oh God, between the closing door and the open window or whatever is the hallway of hell. All right. I don't know why I thought of that. But anyways, all right. So I'm just going to tell you, one of the most challenging, I've been sober a zillion years. So one of the most challenging times of my life, I was married to a guy and he relapsed. And I'm sure some of you can relate to this with either friends or sweethearts or whatever. And I remember thinking during that time, like, are you shitting me, first of all? Okay, like, this is happening to me at like 20 years of sobriety? I'm sorry, am I screaming? I literally was in shock, A.
She was in shock that an addict picked up.
I know, it's so delusional. B, I was thinking, how could this be happening to me, the psychologist, the expert, okay? How can I, be someone who's working in addiction and codependency, and how can it be happening in my home? Okay, that's how.
Notice the self-centered nature of all those thoughts.
There's a bit of self-centeredness.
Someone else picking up. How could it be happening to Sarah? I often feel that way when other people do things. How could this be happening to me?
It's so true, the self-centeredness. All right, so the reason I'm bringing this up is, though, I remember thinking all these thoughts like, I had a young child at home. My life is never going to be the same. Why did I get sober for this to happen? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when I look back on that and what's happened, that was 15 years ago or longer. And I know this is going to sound insane. That was the best thing that ever happened to me because my entire life transformed. He ended up moving out. We got divorced. And during that time of my life where I really hit an emotional bottom in recovery, I discovered all these wonderful things that I had kind of pushed aside and hadn't been aware of. I got a new community of people. I had become very isolated. I started doing other work. I mean, so many positive things came out of that. But it is trusting the process of recovery sometimes. And you know this, when you've known people go through really hard times, I swear to God, hang in there for the miracle to happen, which I used to go, what are you, What are you kidding me? Miracles?
Wait,
but things do happen. Okay, go ahead.
Somebody said to me in early sobriety, when I was upset, I'm like, why am I, I was probably like 5 months sober, not wondering why my life wasn't beautiful. Like, you go to these meetings and people are like, I'm so grateful, I'm so happy. And you're like miserable because you're not using drugs or alcohol.
Right.
And I'm like, when am I going to get better? And it was all to me measuring, when am I going to get better? And somebody said to me, well, imagine if you, like, how long did you drink? Imagine that walking into the woods that long and you have to come out. And it doesn't necessarily mean if you drank for 10 years, it'll take you 10 years to get recovery.
Right.
But I believe each step back and each day as it passes brings you closer to more and more recovery. And I remember thinking, how ridiculous is it? But as time unfolds and days pass and I don't react to things, I'm always amazed. And big things that, like, when your life feels like it's blowing up, I have people tell me, like, thank the universe for the blessing or lesson in disguise that you can't see, but if you look for it, it will eventually be revealed to you. And, Sarah was aware enough to say, like, oh my goodness, my life blew up, but look at everything that's flourished and come from it. And for me, like, that just means staying in the day.
Yes.
Letting this too shall pass, right?
Right. And
good and bad, honestly.
Did we say that the name of this place is ODAAT Apparel?
Yeah.
I didn't even know One Day at a Time Apparel. I didn't even know if we said that, but that's what I was just thinking, that during these crises, all you need to get through and think about and be aware of is one day and 24 hours. And that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Anybody can do anything for one day.
I recently did a questionnaire thing and they said, what brings you hope? And I thought about it for a long time, and what brings me hope is waking up and still breathing, because I know that absolutely anything can happen in a day.
Yes.
Like, you never know what it is. It's just going to show up for you. But literally, we had talked before in other videos about reacting to things and delusional thinking and not acting. But when you let your life unfold a day at a time and you stay in that day and you don't react to everything around you
and try not to manage and control it, you codependents.
When we say let it unfold, we didn't say grab it and unfold it yourself. Like, I'm known for, all right, there's a problem, I'm going to fix it mode. 100 miles an hour at it, instead of just sitting back. And I've been doing a lot of the sitting back lately. And it blows my mind. How things aren't necessarily what I thought they were when I let them sort of resolve themselves.
Well, and when we slow down and actually have awareness of our feeling states, what's going on inside, have awareness of what's going on around us, if we can be patient. And a lot of times in codependency healing, we're trying to fix something or change something outside of ourselves so we can feel okay. And really part of it is just allowing ourselves to feel and to know that everything passes. Nothing's going to stay, right? And we can get it through everything, and we can trust God and trust our higher power. And, all those great words, surrendering, admitting our powerlessness over people, places, and things.
Right. I believe the universe really does have our back. As long as we're not trying to manage it.
Yeah. So trusting the universe, trusting yourself, reaching out for help, having patience, letting things go.
This too shall pass. That helps me a lot because I've been dealing with some uncomfortable health stuff that is interfering with my sleep, and I literally am like, I know this isn't going to last forever. And it's the same thing with good stuff. And recently I was talking to someone who was on a high. They're in like a little bit of a pink cloud, and I never really had a pink cloud, but these days I have more good, nice days than I do days where I'm kind of like humdrum, miserable. But I've walked through enough of those days that I know they end, so I could actually stay in the game. Not pick up something to distract me from the feeling. Just let it be.
Let it be.
Let it be. Let it be. Anyway, singing career.
Acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. I'm telling you, And I mean, we're throwing out all these sayings. I'm thinking about resist, what you resist persists. If we could just accept and be.
And what I really, really needed to hear early on when I kept hearing about acceptance is acceptance doesn't mean you like it.
Yeah.
Okay? I thought acceptance meant I have to make myself like this. No, you just have to accept that it is and you have no power over it and let it go.
Yes. All right. Fasten your seatbelt. We're just giving some tools.
ODAAT
Check
Apparel.
out ODAAT Apparel. Quality is so good. Thank you so much. All right. Fasten your seatbelt. We're leaving. We're out of here.